Liverpool are top of the Premier League on our own right now. What a week! What a Saturday! Going to be top of the league at the end of the weekend, no matter what happens. Loads of talk about, and of course, K-Mac is here for the match reaction. K-Mac, how you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm not on mute, am I?
No, you're good.
But it's time for everything.
Yes, you're good,
Lovely.
man. You're good. Oh, what a day! What a day! Obviously, we've had some good football today. You know, Arsenal getting beaten by Villa. All Arsenal fans are crying. Liverpool beat Crystal Palace. Roy Hodgson is crying. You know, it's been a lovely day. It's been a lovely day. Look, we're going to get to the meat and potatoes of this whole thing, guys. First of all, don't forget to go and hit that like button. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to like K-Mac and subscribe to K-Mac. All that stuff, guys. You know what to do right here. Share the content out. And yeah, big up everyone. Make sure you are hitting that like. Big up to Iber, Sean, Psychedelic, Honesty, Carmino, Captain Sal, John, Martin, Bafana, Freezy, Oscar. Keep it level. James and John and James NK and Bear and Drunk Vigo. Be up to all you guys in the chat right now. Blackberry's in the chat as well. Hope you're doing well, man. Hope you're doing well. And James LFC86 in the chat as well. Big up to you, my friend. Return to the Mac. So Liverpool beating Crystal Palace by 2-1 in a hard-fought, horrible, nasty, disgusting little game at Selhurst Park Day to K-Mac. What are your thoughts on the game before we get started, man?
Well, that's exactly the game that Roy Hodgson likes, doesn't it? Horrible little groat of a man. Like at the end of the game, whinging about everything. Like he just ruins football. Like he makes me sick. Like that's exactly what we experienced at Liverpool. Palace, soak it up. You deserved what you got.
I hate anti-football. I really do.
Oh, it's horrible.
Anti-football, man. Big up to everyone in the chat right now. Hope you're having a great weekend as well. Look, we're all, coming close to Christmas, so I think everyone's in the happiest spirits right now. Shite game, but a wonderful day today. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? As long as we win. Big Ash in chat as well. Lucky knee slide into the chat. And don't do 2 foots like the hype bun. Don't big up Lucky. Big up to you, man. It was not pretty. It weren't pretty. But as long as we get the win, so, as you say.
What's it called? A smash and grab? Is that what it's called?
Yeah. Big up Aaron.
It certainly was.
Big up Colin. Big up to you. Guys, don't forget to go and smash that like button, yeah? We're going to have a great show here talking about Liverpool top of the league. And, let's break the game down. So, Liverpool, going away to Selhurst Park is always a difficult game. We did I did my match preview yesterday. We're talking about, the team that will play, the players that will play. Alisson came straight back into the team. Thank the Lord. Because if it weren't for him, I don't know if we didn't win this game, because we're going to talk about him in a bit, man. But that man is just godlike.
96-minute save as well.
Godlike. And it was a strong lineup, and the first half it was just it was poor. The first half was poor from a Liverpool point of view, and we knew like Crystal Palace had not got their better players playing, so I don't blame them playing that sort of everyone stick behind the ball sort of football. I don't really blame them getting with crunching tackles, let Liverpool know you're here. I don't mind, like, from their point of view, I can see why you'd play that way. I honestly can. But for a Liverpool point of view, we didn't play well at all. We didn't move the ball. I thought we were very disappointed in the way we passed the ball today. Wataru Endo came in for a lot of criticism online for his performance in that first half. And everyone was correct. Like, his performance weren't good today. But we can't let certain players like Gravenberch and Szoboszlai get away with it either. They were just as bad. They weren't moving the ball quick enough either. Strikers were off it. Everyone just seemed a bit down, didn't they, came out in that first half?
Can I give you some stats on Endo? Because Endo was really day, by the way. Like I know he was got the brunt of it. 93% pass ratio today, 51 touches, one long ball completed, 9 ground duels, 4-1. He lost possession 7 times. He's got the lowest possession lost out of anyone in the team, by the way. He got fouled. He fouled players 3 times. He was brilliant at fouling players, and he also got fouled 3 times. And one of them was the one which came to our penalty, which I didn't think was a penalty anyway, by the way. But the conversation, and the whole refereeing was just atrocious in that game. And I thought he had a really good game. I thought he was probably the only thing standing in between them kicking our asses in the first half, because we were dogs. Like,
I'm the same.
All our midfield were at the other end of the pitch.
Man.
Like they just played past our midfield, and it was just Endo on his own. It was nuts. Like I said to you in the chat as well that I'm excited to see how Dom and Gravenberch get on with Endo. Oh my God, I can't see those two play together. They just do not play together well.
They've not had a good game
Cancel each other out.
Have they?
No. We've not had a good game with them in midfield together, by the way.
Yeah, they do. It's like no. There's like a certain forward.
I agree with K-Mac for once.
What the hell? Yeah, everyone was going for Endo in the half time, and I think Klopp was right to bring Endo off. By the way, I'm not saying Klopp, because we didn't really need a DM because of the way they were playing it. We needed you needed a player more in that midfield that can get hold of the ball and be a bit more creative, and that's why I put Trent there. So it made sense, the substitution. But everyone the way they were coming for Endo, I was like, are you watching the game? Because to be fair, it was quite clever bringing Endo on, because what happened then is when you brought Endo off at half time, Palace actually came onto us a lot more.
Yeah.
When Endo went off, because we started to give up more space in our midfield, because Trent's on the pitch wanting to do different things to what Endo would do. So that meant there was more space in behind Crystal Palace when we got on the attack in front. So it was a clever substitution, where I give Klopp his credit, man, because as soon as Endo came off that second half, I mean, they obviously scored, and they were getting more chances and coming onto us a lot more than they did in that first half, because, we opened up the game a little bit more, putting Trent into that midfield. So I thought people coming after Endo was just mad, It was just like, I don't get it. The people were watching the game and going for Endo in that first half, but looking at Darwin Núñez and going and not saying anything. We're going to have a chat about Darwin Núñez at the moment. Oof. This Darwin Núñez, he's got less goals than a certain Bournemouth striker in the Premier League this season.
Right. Darwin Núñez had basically a Diogo Jota game. He touched the ball 20 times. He didn't win any ground duels. He won the aerial duels twice, but so what? He just lost possession all the time. He was offside all the time. His passing was pretty poor as well, 70%. Hey, his heat map, he wasn't in the box. He wasn't in the box. He touched the ball twice in the box. We have to have a conversation about this guy, because Gakpo comes on and he throws Gakpo literally on the right wing, and he completely changed the game. Gakpo completely changed the game. Like everyone talks about Joe Gomez changing the game. It was Gakpo that changed the game, because Gakpo ran into the space, which gave Salah and Joe Gomez the space to then pass the ball around. And Elliott, to pass the ball around. I mean, we can look at Luis Diaz, but Luis Diaz didn't actually have a bad game. He really didn't have a bad game. I can see all the negativity about him, but he had 47 touches, 86% passing, 3 key passes. He got fouled 5 times. Like, they resulted in some good free kicks. His heat map, he was in the box. Like, he almost won that header. He almost won that header in the end. When their new goalkeeper came on, he was in the box for that header. Like he scored. Like, I can't believe that wasn't even drawn. The lines weren't drawn on that. He looked onside. like he scored a goal and got disallowed again.
Yeah,
But I didn't think he had that bad a game. Like, if I'm honest, today. But Nunes, I mean, 20 touches. Like, seriously.
Yeah, see, my issue is, as I said, I like every Liverpool player, right? I don't get the agenda of throwing a Liverpool player under the bus like some people do online. You know, there's some Liverpool Twitter handle. There's some people big on Twitter, you know, like your John O'Sullivans and stuff like that, and you know, and all that are big on Twitter, big in the Liverpool Twitter area, and you know, a lot of people listen to what they say, and it's, you know, and they're going at Endo all the time, and I'm like, but they big up Darwin constantly, and like,
I mean, that's one goal. That's one goal in 8 games. That's one goal in 8 games.
Yeah, and they were tweeting during the game, why are you taking Darwin off? And at the end of the game, I believe him and some other people on Twitter are going, the Darwin criticism is really unfair. But they're the same people then slagging Endo off in that first half when he weren't as bad as a Szoboszlai or a Gravenberch. It makes no sense. It's just agenda, and it does my ending. I don't hate any Liverpool player. I don't get why we make agendas all the time. Why can't we just talk with honesty?
I don't.
You know, just talk with honesty.
I don't hate Nunes. I just think he should come on as a sub now, like, until he maybe gets some goals. Like, yeah. But Gapco should be playing now. Like, he's done enough. Like, he scored 2 goals. He scored 2 goals in the last game he started, and then got dropped.
Yeah,
he comes on and changes games. Like,
I don't think, and like the Endo thing, I think everyone's right. Imran in the chat, big up, and everyone else saying it. I said this as well. Endo didn't come off because of his performances. We just didn't need a defensive midfielder.
I agree. It was pure tactics.
Klopp wanted someone on the ball that could be a bit more attack-minded from the midfield and open up the opposition with their passing range. And the best player for that is Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Yeah.
So it was a great move by Klopp. Put Gomez at right back, and then let Trent do his thing, and it was a great move by the manager. It certainly was, but it weren't on Endo's performance because
Trent had a really good game, you know, mate. Like, Trent had a really good game. Like, he had 11 long balls and 5 of them got to players, and he created 2 big chances, 6 key passes, 84% pass, 115 touches. He was everywhere. Well, he is just special. It's becoming a season where we've got 4 players, like 4 big players, and they are producing match after match after match. And it's Alisson, it's Trent, it's Salah, and it's Virgil. Like, it just is. Like, I mean, Dom's coming into that every now and again. You know, Dominic Szoboszlai's coming into that every now and again, but those 4, like, they are so key. It's fantastic. By the way, Beijing, I was speaking Endo's praises. Like, I was. Like, I was talking about his stats before. He had a good game for me. Like,
Endo. I did.
It was a tactical sub.
I didn't think Endo was actually that bad. Szoboszlai gave away the most. Szoboszlai gave the ball away the most out of all of our midfielders, I think. Yeah. You know, it's just, you know, people are actually slagging Endo off for getting fouled. That the penalty got disallowed for. People were slagging Endo off for being fouled. I was like, what?
Did you see how many times he got fouled?
And do you know what Endo does, right? Do you know what Endo does? I'm not come to Endo's defense here. I just watched the game with no agenda. So if you watch your game with no agenda, you can watch it impartially, right? What Endo does, Endo's one of our only midfielders who calls for the ball in tight spaces. Endo calls for the ball in tight spaces. And then he gets the fouls, or he'll be able to turn his man or keep the ball moving or stuff like that. How many other players in our midfield actually call for the ball in tight spaces? You know, this Endo stuff's got to stop. This agenda's got it's mad. It's mad. Yes, he's not terrible. No, he's not great. We're not saying he's world class or great or anything like that. It's just the fact that when he's legitimately not been the worst midfielder in our team today, and then the agenda is just endo, it's just mad. It's just nuts to me.
It's a bit blinkered, a bit like you haven't really looked into it properly. Like you're just kind of following a narrative, and TNT had a bloody narrative today. Like seriously, like how on earth can they say that like the red card wasn't a red? Like the guy didn't deserve 2 yellow cards. Like he stopped the free kick because he was stood in front of it, which is a yellow card. And then he pulled the play. He fouled the player, so he couldn't get past him as he was attacking. That's another yellow card. Like they're 2 yellow card offences.
Oh, the yellow card offences.
Yeah, just like they were both yellow. I know they were soft. They were soft yellow cards, but they're the rules.
You can't stop a player on a counter attack.
No,
professional foul. It's what they call a professional foul.
Yeah.
And if you look in the rule book, a professional foul is a yellow card. All right.
Yeah.
So that yellow card's just, and he didn't stand where he's meant to for the free kick instead and kept encroaching. And if you look up the rule book, encroaching on a set piece continuously is a yellow card. So they might be soft yellow cards, but in the laws of the game, they're yellow cards. So I don't actually understand the fuss of all this. And then Liverpool scored 90 seconds after the sending off. So did the sending off really matter that much?
No.
I mean, people just it's madness to me, absolutely madness to me. And then Liverpool had a penalty. We played for almost 2 minutes before they called that penalty back. So what if Liverpool scored in that 2 minutes? What would have happened? Because the goal would have been legal.
There was a rule. I thought there was actually a rule, and this was put into place because of the Diaz goal that got disallowed, by the way. So they put this rule in because they messed up against us, and then they just broke it against us. And if you don't think there's an agenda with referees and VAR, then you really have to look into that.
I didn't think the ref got anything wrong today. I thought the ref was all right. I thought the ref was all right today. I didn't mind. One thing I will say is, why did he take so long to look at the foul on Endo?
5 minutes or something. I was watching it in the pub.
He was looking at the monitor like this.
Why did we need to look at this?
I swear, do you know what he was doing? I think he was doing his McDonald's order for when he got home.
Yeah, I think he's ordering a Domino's pizza.
He was on the Uber app. I'll have that. I fancy a milkshake today. Swipe. Oh shit! There's the Endo incident. I better look at that now. Oh yeah, it's definitely a foul. Yeah, I swear that's what he was doing, because it was the most blatant. It's the most blatant. I know. And I was saying to my wife downstairs, Lauren. I was saying to her, like, there's no difference between the foul for the penalty that they gave and the foul on Endo. But they looked at the penalty and took 1 second to look at it.
I don't really
took about 5 minutes to look at the Endo decision.
I don't understand that.
It was mad. And Endo, look, again, do you know why that free kick happened, that foul happened? Endo's asking for the ball in tight space.
And he shielded the ball.
And he's shielding the ball. And the only way for you to win that ball is to foul Endo to get the ball. And people were slagging Endo off because of it. Don't shield the ball, guys. Whatever you do, if you're a footballer, don't shield the ball. Don't ask for the ball in small spaces, because people with no football knowledge go on Twitter and make agendas out of it. It's fucking mad. Absolutely mad. Absolutely mad. Like, I don't get it personally. I really don't get it. And as I said, Endo weren't brought off it was brought off for tactical reasons, and the tactics were correct. Klopp master plan today on the subs.
Every sub he made really changed the game. Like, it was crazy. Like, every single sub. I mean, even taking Quansah off was a good idea. Like, because what he was doing was he was giving the ball to Virgil all the time because he's worried. Like, and he's also new. I think that's his first Premier League start in the league, and I think that might be one of his first games with Virgil. So he was kind of like you're my senior, like, you're in charge, I'm going to do everything you do, and Virgil just didn't have the time to be able to concentrate on everything that he was doing when there was so much coming at him. So it made sense to bring someone on that's just going to have a go as well and go up against Mateta and the guys that are kind of coming in on him, which was Canate. And I thought Canate played really well. And I also thought that was the kind of game Canate can have a good go against those type of teams. And it worked out really well. And Curtis Jones, like, I mean, I'm not sure if it was an assist, but he was a calm player in the box that just squared it to Salah, and that got us the equaliser.
Yeah, I mean, that would have been a penalty as well if they didn't score, would they? Because he got taken out.
Yeah.
Look, we can't get by the fact that we played poorly. You know, we played poorly. There's no doubt about it. Look, we might have had a lot of possession, but we find it hard to break these low block teams down, and that's a truthful thing. We don't play wide enough. You know, we don't play with enough width against these teams. We just go through the middle a lot, which is a tactic in the system that we play, you know. But
that's what they wanted us to do, though.
Yeah,
and
we played in Palace's hands a bit. But we do that a lot. We do play into Crystal Palace. Like, we do play into.
We did that with Luton as well, by the way. We played into Luton's hands.
I keep saying it's the way we play. There's no point debating it anymore because I don't think it's ever going to change. That's just the way we play. And at the moment, we're top of the league. I can't really.
I can't complain.
We can't complain too much at the moment. There's obviously things we can talk about.
I said to my wife, if we win this game in the 96th minute with it hitting someone on the back of the arse and going in, and it's a 1-0, then I'll take that against Crystal Palace because we are wretched against Palace. Like, I think that's our first win in 4 games away at Palace. So that's huge. And they've been spanked a few times at home. So they're just going to shut shop. Like, they're not going to come and attack teams now, especially when it's Liverpool and they know they can get at us, like, because they've been able to eke draws off against us for a couple of seasons. I mean, we beat Bournemouth now, and we beat Palace. They're 2 games that we've dropped points in the last couple of years. Like, this is a big deal now. Like, we're learning how to beat these teams in the middle of the game, and I think it's brilliant. And the squad depth he's got as well, because all those players that came on completely changed the game. It's really good to see.
Yeah,
sorry,
exactly.
I'll put myself on mute because the dog's barking.
No, you're right, man. You're right. Yeah, like people. Now, there's people still arguing about this defensive midfielder, this number 6 that Liverpool apparently haven't got. Do you know what? If Liverpool win, this is what's going to happen, right? Everyone keeps up. Liverpool fans keep moaning that Liverpool don't have a number 6. Yeah. Rival fans say Liverpool can't win the league without a proper number 6. 2 things are going to happen. If Liverpool win the Premier League this year, rival fans will say, "Oh, you did have a number 6 because it's Alexis McAllister. He's your number 6, and that's why you won the league." Then Liverpool fans will say, "We won the league without a number 6." You know, so ha to all you lot. And then I will say, if you listen to Jurgen Klopp when he talks, I keep arguing with everyone about this. Alexis McAllister is his number 6 because of certain reasons. He's changing the way the number 6 is played. He doesn't want a smash mouth number 6. I keep see people talking about, like, these Twitter people that have agendas still saying, like, "Oh, if FSG had any sense now, they'd go and spend the money in the January transfer window to win us the Premier League." And I'm like, I don't always think you need to buy people, because I think we missed Alexis McAllister today, and I think now, K-Mac, you see why Klopp wants Alexis McAllister in the number 6 position. You know, what he wants from that DM. He wants that ball player that's got good interception rate, can win the ball, doesn't have to tackle, but when he's got the ball, he uses the ball from a deeper position to break the lines, to get the ball moving forward, to spray the ball about. I think we got to look at it that thinking maybe Klopp's thinking of something different now because Trent inverts. And I said this on my video yesterday in the preview that Trent Alexander-Arnold is really our DM if you think about it. Because he's the one who sits back. He's the one who inverts and sits back. McAllister breaks away from him and plays a little bit further up. Trent then sits in that DM role. Look who's always the last person in the midfield. You know, I just think Klopp's trying to, take his team somewhere else. Now we're changing the way maybe it's going to play that we don't have to rely on a sole DM in our midfield. Like this is the way we're going to play now, K-Man. You reckon?
Yeah, I don't see a DM in our team anymore now. Like they're just multifunctional midfielders that can do different jobs. And the fact that we do keep on bringing the inverted in, it's just throwing another player into the midfield that gives us pretty much 4 in midfield at times.
Yeah.
And they're just pivots. I don't see them as DMs. Like they're not deep. Nobody's really deep in our team. Like we play a high line. We play high midfielders. We play attackers right on top of their defenders. Like and they press. It's the way we play. Hang on, I've got to go on mute, mate. My dog.
You're right. You're right. Yeah, I don't. I think this number 6 position, this DM things are getting a little. It's getting a little out of hand now. It's getting a bit over the top because every Liverpool win pretty much every game, yeah. And then after every single game, all you hear is, "Oh, Liverpool had a DM. We'd be doing this," and I'm like, "So we're winning a game. So Liverpool win a game of football, and the first thing you're moaning about is not having a defensive midfielder, but we keep winning games of football. So how are we top of the league? Keep winning games of football." And all everyone keeps moaning about is, "Oh, Liverpool had a defensive midfielder. What? We'd be on exactly the same points." what would be the massive difference if we had say we had Polina in our team right now? In my opinion, we'd probably be on exactly the same points in exactly the same position we're in the league right now. Our only loss was to Tottenham. And if VAR did their job properly, Diaz scores that goal,
we'd be at
we'd
0.
probably go on to win that game or draw it.
We'd be at 0 losses. Like Arsenal have lost twice this season, and they're the ones behind. Us. Like we haven't really lost any games. Let's really be honest about this, because that was taken away from us.
Arsenal had 3 DMs
by the officials.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we have Paulinho, look, I'd like Paulinho, by the way. I think he's a great player.
Yeah, so do I.
But if we had Paulinho, I don't think we'd score as many goals from midfield, because the midfield would be set up differently, and it would be a workman midfield, which is what we kind of had in the past, where we didn't really score that many goals, we didn't really get that many assists from midfield. Now it's because it's multifunctional. They go forward, they take chances, they commit players, they take shots. It's all action. It's the midfield that we've always wanted. It's the midfield with a load of Steven Gerrards in, where they're literally doing all the things that we want from our midfielders. How many times have we looked at midfielders and gone, "Oh God, I wish ours did that." It'd be really good to see that from the midfield. It's happening. It's happening in front of our faces now. It's evolving. Look at what Harvey Elliott did. When did that ever happen? When did we ever have a midfielder that would pop up with a winner in the 90th minute from outside the box? There's been a few now. And this is just this season alone. So you can imagine in the next year or year after that, when they've been playing together for years, just how much flair and creativity and how exciting it's going to be with Liverpool, with this Klopp. I wouldn't even say it's 2.0 now. I'd say it's probably 5.0, because it has evolved over the years. But I just think it's going to be brilliant. Like, and to bring Harvey Elliott on, and for him to have that much confidence, and to know that he can do those things now, and it feels like the shackles are kind of taken off a bit by Klopp, and his midfielders are now allowed to express themselves more. Because guess what? You're still going to be running back and defending, because everybody's doing it in midfield now. I think it's good, and it bodes well for us moving forward.
Yeah, exactly. McAllister scored 1 goal this season. Endo scored 2. A world-class DM would have approximately that amount of goals at this point in the season too. Exactly. There would be not a lot of difference, but every game Liverpool play, it's about the DM, it's about the DM, about the DM. People have got to start understanding the system Liverpool plays is an extremely difficult system if you're not. So the way Liverpool are meant to play and the way Jurgen Klopp wants the players to play is counter pressing. So that means you play really high up and you play risky. You play risky because if you win the counter press, you just completely swallow the opposition in their own half continuously, and your defence won't be attacked on. But the problem is, if one player in that counter press just messes up, and another player is out of position because of the counter press, then you're exposed at the other end of the pitch. So it's a very difficult system to work at. And when Liverpool were at their absolute best, the 2 years they won Champions League and the Premier League, them 2 years, arguably the best team in club football, is because them players at that time had this system down to an art form. And that's why they looked amazing. I've always said it, Fabinho, Henderson and Gini and Milner weren't the best midfield combination in the world, but they had this system down to an art form where it was just beautiful. And they knew what to do. These players that we got now, the forwards are not the old forwards of the past, so they don't defend from the front as much as the old forwards do. We've got new midfielders in there getting used to this brand new system. The players are going to get more used to it and more used to it and more used to it. That's why I keep saying we're ahead of schedule right now. You think in 12 months' time where these players are going to be once they've got used to the way this system is and they get more in tune with it and the way they got to play and get used to each other. It's going to be cooking different temperatures, man. It's just, it doesn't matter what DM we got now. It'd still be pretty similar. So people have got to stop moaning about it. Every time we let a goal in and we're going behind, it's the risk of the way we play. We're not controlling games well enough at the moment for Klopp's liking because we're a bit sloppy in areas of the pitch because of the system. But these players will get used to it, guys. And once they get used to it, they're going to be cooking K-Mac, ain't they?
Absolutely. I mean, let's just look at the team today. Okay, so we've got 11 players on the pitch. We've got one Gerald Quansah that's never started a Premier League game for us before. Okay, that's completely out the blue. Okay, that doesn't happen that often. You've then got Gravenberch, Wataru Endo, and Dominic Szoboszlai, who are brand new players who've never done a whole season together. That's completely new. And then you've got the likes of Luis Diaz and Darwin Núñez and Mo Salah, who've only done a year together, really, on and off. And then you've got Kostas Tsimikas. I think that's his 7th Premier League start. So
and he's playing well now as well.
You've got a team there who haven't really played that much together, and you expect them to just be world beaters. But then you've got your subs. So you've got Harvey Elliott. He's a kid. Yeah. Okay. He played in midfield last season and he didn't have a great season. This season he's been kicking on. He's being used really well as a sub, which is great. Curtis Jones really only came onto the scene properly as a first team player the middle of last year. He's been injured in and out. Cody Gakpo hasn't played that many games, really. Got put into a midfield position that he's only really been playing this season. Joe Gomez playing like an inverted role, which is something he's not done that often. You have to look at the context of it. Like, all the subs came on and did a job and completely flipped the game on its head, and we won it because of them. And we've got a team with a lot of players that haven't played a lot of football together. This is a new thing, and we're doing well with it.
Exactly. It's just we're ahead of schedule. That's what I keep saying. I think it's even shocked Klopp how well this team is doing right now. I think it's even probably shocking the manager if you talk to him. He's like whole new midfield that have got to learn the Klopp way of playing, the counter press. It's very difficult to play this counter press system because you've all got to be in tune. As I said, if you're not all in tune and one of your two of you are slipping up, that's why you look risky at the back. But if you're in tune with each other, you don't look risky at the back, like Liverpool of old. The system's not changed. The system's the same. And, that's why it's Trent go inverted now. That's a tactical difference. Trent's going inverting. So you've got that 4 in the midfield. You've got that box in the midfield where he's trying to keep at the ball. The problem is it's not Klopp's fault when people like Szoboszlai and Gravenberch and that give away the ball continuously. When you give away the ball and you're trying to play his counter-pressing style where you're being compact in the midfield, if you give away the ball, then it goes to the other end really quickly. So it's about the players as well getting in tune to everything we're doing right now. It really is. Big up to everyone in chat. Guys, don't forget to go and smash that like button. I'd appreciate it. From losing positions this season, we have 16 points. Yeah, it's mad. It's not. That's not sustainable. I will say that, but it is a sign of what champions do. Just putting it out there.
It is.
It's not sustainable. You can't go through a whole season like that. But when you go back and look at champions of the past, they come back from losing positions. And even look at the City teams of the past that won Premier Leagues recently. Go back to some of their games where they were in losing positions in games and they go and win games. That's what, when you win a title, that's what you've got to go through. And it's not sustainable. We can't carry on like that. Our performances have to start picking up a little bit, and start having a bit more comfortable games. But it's not. We got to talk about the players sometimes. Sometimes it's just down to these players, man. Sometimes it's just down to these players. Everyone wants to talk about the forwards. Let's talk about the forwards.
Can I just say something? Can I just say something? Listen to Klopp's press conference at the end. He said it was the worst 76 minutes he's ever seen, and we still won the game. Yeah, it's not sustainable, but I do have a feeling that this high risk, high reward is what we play. This is Klopp football. It's always been Klopp football.
Yeah, he's a romantic.
Always been Klopp football. Wait until this team starts to gel, because we ain't gelled. We haven't played well all season, apart from a couple of games at home. I'd say Aston Villa's probably one of the best games we've had.
You look at the Villa result now.
Beating Aston Villa's not for everyone.
No. And that result against Aston Villa was probably the best Liverpool played all season. Because that game, the whole team was one in the counter press, the high, what everything Klopp wanted them to do. They all clicked in that game. And when they do that, that's how good Liverpool can look. And they're not doing that at the moment. And, they're doing well. Brian says, if the manager doesn't want DM, why did they go for Caicedo? Jurgen Klopp didn't go for Caicedo. Billy Hogan did. That's why Klopp looked furious in his press conference when he got asked about Caicedo.
Klopp wanted
Lavia,
and he's not a DM.
No. If you look at the player Lavia is, look at the player Lavia is, yeah. Lavia is a footballing cultured DM who could probably play in a number 8 position. And if you look at what McAllister's doing, it's similar to what Lavia is as a DM. That's what he was looking at. Billy Hogan tried to buy Caicedo. It weren't Jurgen Klopp and George Schmack. Jurgen Klopp and George Schmack were doing the Lavia deal, and Billy Hogan decided to go and do the Caicedo deal. That is why we never spoke to the player's agent. We never had any medicals booked, and we never spoke to the player because Billy Hogan just went on his own. That's what happened.
Just decided he wanted to spend over 100 million.
Yeah, that's why Jurgen was furious. That's why Jurgen was furious in his press conference.
You should listen to Jurgen Klopp's press conference the next morning when he talks about the Caicedo deal. He is pissed.
Yeah.
We've literally just put a bid in for the most expensive player in the Premier League, broke all kinds of records, and everyone was crying out for this guy. Everyone was so excited, and Klopp looked like someone who just pissed on his chips.
Yeah, definitely. Big up, Snappy. Yeah, Snappy's right there as well. That's what we're saying, basically.
I just love the honesty.
Once he gets his team, gets, it's just, yeah. Klopp looked confused. He did, because it wasn't the player he was going for. Billy Hogan just did that of his own accord. Klopp wants a DM, like you guys are saying, but I don't think he wants the DM. Maybe I'm wrong. It comes January, he goes and buys Polina, then I've got this all wrong, and I'll hold my hands up. I don't really care about being wrong. But what it looks like at the moment is that the DMs that Klopp was after were more cultured footballers that can play. They're not just a destroyer. They're more than that. They can play in that deep line position. Basically, what we're looking at is deep line midfielders more than a DM. I think that's what he's looking at, because he wants to because Trent, because the way I think Jurgen's looking at it, because Trent inverts into that midfield area and he's more of a defender by nature, then if you've got a more cultured deep lining midfielder next to him, you don't really, in his opinion, you probably don't need that DM. So, if he goes and gets Polina, like, I'll hold my hands up and go, I was wrong. He does want to destroy her. Fair enough. Let's do this. But yeah, at this moment in time, guys, let's face it, whatever we're doing, it's working. Let's put it that way.
Every second half of the game, by the way, and the last two games, by the way, that we've won from behind, he brought Trent into midfield in the second half, and the game flipped on its head. He's done it twice. He's probably done it more than that now, but he's done it twice in those two games, and the game changed because Trent was in midfield.
I just wonder if Jurgen does see.
And he took midfielders off, by the way, to leave Trent in there.
Yeah, and Trent don't look exposed in midfield at all.
Yeah, because
I just wonder if
the Fulham game, he took McAllister and Dominic Szoboszlai off.
Yeah,
and put Trent in there.
That means he's got.
Flipped on his head.
That tells you he's got massive faith in Trent being a midfielder.
Yeah, he has.
But I think he's trying to work out
really well as a right back today as well. By the way, he had like 3 interceptions.
And I think that's what Klopp's looking at. Klopp's looking at his squad and thinking, I haven't got a better right back in Trent. So right now, there is no point for me to take Trent out of right back and play him as a midfielder, because I haven't got a better right back at Liverpool at the moment. And what he does for me inverting, no one else in my team can do that. So I just want to play Trent as that right back. If Liverpool look into the transfer market and get a right back, then putting Trent into midfield just adds to that quality of midfield, in my opinion. Then you've got Trent, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, McAllister, Endo, Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott. That's a heck of a midfield.
I know.
They're all that's a heck of a midfield. There's creativity, it's power, there's pace, there's athleticism, all different kinds of things in that midfield.
I personally think Joe Gomez is great right back cover for Trent. I really do.
Well, today talk about him.
He's brilliant. Amazing. He's been brilliant. And we've also got Connor Bradley, who is really, really highly thought after, who was supposed to kick on this year.
Yeah,
I think we're all good. I do think the left side is the one we probably need to look at, because that's the bit that worries me. And also, if something does happen to Virgil van Dijk, we could probably do with someone really, really good in there as well, maybe. But I don't know. I suppose I'm just, maybe just want to be overly cautious. Don't want to end up with a situation where we didn't have any bloody defenders and we had to play midfielders there. But there's not many areas for me. I even think Elliott could do a really good job on the right hand side if needed. You don't need pace. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he'll sign someone. Maybe he won't sign anyone. I don't know. He doesn't really sign players in January, by the way. That's not his thing.
No, it's only the players we bought in January recently, Gakpo and Diaz. I said this yesterday in my preview. when you look at the players Liverpool bought in January, it's players that they will go buy in the summer, but they went ahead in January because they didn't want other teams nicking them. So Diaz, Tottenham, Diaz was meant to be bought in the summer. That was the deal they were preparing for the summer. Everything was sorted for that transfer. But then Tottenham came calling in the January window. So Liverpool didn't want to lose their main target in the summer to another rival. So they went and got him in January. Gakpo again was meant to be a summer transfer. So Gakpo was meant to come this summer. But Man United was sniffing around him again, and Liverpool didn't want to lose him to another rival. So
they had a highlight reel on him. Do you remember? They were all saying Gakpo signed.
and they went and got Gakpo done in the winter. So I was talking about this yesterday about defenders, about centre backs. And I was saying, we've got 4 centre backs at the moment, and they're all decent. They're all good to decent, or decent to quality, to be fair. And Klopp might be looking at him thinking, I'm covered there because I only play with 2. One plays all the time, and I can rotate the other partner. Mm-hmm. So maybe I don't need a centre back. And as people said in the chat yesterday, like the only problem is people like Konate and that are injury prone, and that's a worry. Then you're down to 3, and then what happens if you're down to 2? You're in a bit of trouble. And I was saying, like, if you want a quality, because I don't want Liverpool to make the mistake they've made before, just go into the transfer window to get a player in that don't fit the system, don't fit the criteria, and we just let him go and never play him. I'd rather Liverpool go and get quality. So if you want a Joel Matip upgrade, if you want a player to come in for Joel Matip and replace Joel Matip, then for me, you've got to buy a defender as good as Joel Matip. And a defender as good as Joel Matip would cost you around 50 million, I expect, for a quality centre-back of that criteria. Because anything else, you're buying a lesser player. Now, and I said that's more of a summer transfer deal. But something could happen in January because, like with Gakpo and Diaz, where they bought them in early because other teams got sniffing around, it could be the same scenario. Liverpool could have a centre-back they're looking at right now that no one knows about, a bit like the Szoboszlai deal in the summer, that no one knows about, no one's talking about, that Liverpool got lined up for the summer, but they feel like they can bring him in the winter. That's what they might do. That's what they might do, and they get that kind of defender in. But we won't know, man. That's what I do like about the way we defend, man. It's just the way we do transfer business. We got linked to Mason Mount all summer, and then we go and buy Dominic Szoboszlai. It's just
no one's ever near them. No one's ever near our transfers.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, it's an interesting time in that. But Joe Gomez, man, man of the match today. What a performance he put in, man. At half,
he's looking better on the ball, isn't he?
Yeah, you're right here. Gomez's passing range is a little underrated.
Yeah, he's a good passer, Gomez. He always has been, to be fair. Like that's something that's a bit underrated about him. That's something he's really good at. He put in 2 good crosses today, actually, which just Nunes was nowhere near them. But there you go.
Yeah, I love Gomez.
The interplay with him, Salah and Elliott was just brilliant. It really was.
Like Klopp made mention of it that Gomez was just a superstar, and as you say, maybe Klopp is looking at him thinking, is there games now where I can play Gomez starting a game? I can play Joey at right back and play Trent in midfield. Is there games now I'm looking at him thinking, I can trust Gomez there. He's good there. He's better on the ball that people give him credit for. He does get down that wide area on the right-hand side. He can put in a nice cross. He can pass the ball pretty well. Maybe he's looking at him thinking, like if Joey keeps on that run, maybe I can put Trent in games in that midfield area if I need to rest players and rotate. It's worth a shout, man. It is definitely worth a shout. But again, Gomez today was unreal. Absolutely beautiful performance from Joe Gomez. Thought he was absolutely tremendous today. Another player I thought that was tremendous today. Before I get onto the forwards and rip them apart, but before that, there was one player that came on today as well I thought was tremendous, and that was Cody Gakpo.
Yeah.
I thought when he came on today, I thought Cody was excellent. K-Mac. I thought he brought something different. That drive from midfield that he's got. You know, the willing to run into the box and run past opposition players off the ball. You know, no one else was doing that. I thought Cody was on a mission today, man. Don't know how you
Yeah,
thought.
he played on the right wing as well, which is really interesting because we've not played him there before.
That's another position to his.
Another one. He was really good. 93% pass ratio. He had 15 passes, 14 of them, and they were all really intricate passes as well on the right hand side. He got back, put a few tackles in. He got fouled a few times. He even blocked the shot as well off a corner. Yeah, he was good. It was what Cody did today, which was great, which not a lot of our players did, was he's so good at making blind runs, knowing that he's not going to get the ball, but taking their players out of the way. It's the type of stuff that Mane and Salah and Firmino was just so good at doing. They do these blind runs across, like diagonals across the pitch, which would take their defenders out of the game because they'd follow them, thinking, oh, they're gonna get the ball when they wouldn't, and then someone else would dart in, or they'd be making the space, which he did for Elliott to then come inside and to get a shot off. Really good.
No, man.
Him and Gomez were great on the right.
Yeah, I thought they were brilliant. Cody Gakpo, and look, let's talk a little bit like we've been really positive. 53 minutes in, came out super positive. Yeah, super positive. Right, we're about to get negative. We're about to get dark. Right. This is going to be a hard one for take, but we've got to talk about Luis Diaz. We've got to talk about Darwin Núñez. Right, let's talk about Darwin Núñez first. There's no one here that hates Darwin Núñez, guys. Before we get to this, came out to myself and everyone in chat. We all like Darwin Núñez. We see the qualities he's got and what he can bring to the team, right? So no one's dismantling that. We're not having a go at that. But it's no goal now in 7 games or something like that.
I think it's 8.
And he's not performing either. This is the difference. You know, this is what I say, right? So everyone slags Endo off because of the agenda, but then them same people will praise Darwin. So people will be negative to Endo because he's not quick enough as a DM, but then they'll praise a striker that don't score goals. So it don't make sense to me. You know, it makes no sense. It just means you've got an agenda. You like someone you like and you hate someone you hate. Why we're doing that as a Liverpool fan base, I don't understand. Why are we separating players into, I hate that player, I like that player, and we having agendas? It's mad. They're all Liverpool players. Just get behind them. You're allowed to critique their performances, and there should be negatives and positives. And that's natural. And you can talk about it like we are right now. But I'm sick and tired of the driven agendas. At this moment in time, Darwin is not scoring goals. He is a striker, guys. And I can tell you right now, if Darwin played for any other team and was not scoring goals, this fan base would criticise him. It's just a fact, right? Darwin's a good player. I've always said that there is something special about Darwin Núñez. I understand why he's loved. I really do. But at the moment, he's not scoring goals. And his performances are now dipping as well. He looks like he's struggling out there. And him being consistently offside is an issue as well. Absolutely an issue as well. You know, and once he's performed, I've always said it, if Darwin's not scoring, but his performance levels are up here, I can live with it and I'm all right with it because he's contributing. But at the moment, his performances are starting to dip as well. He's not concentrating because he shouldn't be offside like this. You know, his concentration levels are not quite there at the moment. Otherwise, he wouldn't be offside like he is at the moment. And this is not an agenda. I want Darwin part of this team. I've already said it. I wouldn't sell Darwin. I wouldn't get rid of Darwin. I like him. But right now, he's just going through a little bit. Only came back where he's not putting the ball in the back of the net, and his performances are starting to dip a little bit.
I don't want to be like really critical to a player, but but I do feel like the fame of being a Liverpool player might have got to him, and he might be becoming one of those players like, you know, where the money might be too much. Like, he's always on social media. He's always flashing his cash now. Like, I've seen so much crap about him now. Like, he needs to concentrate on his game. Like, obviously, he's become a bit of a superstar for Uruguay now. You know, there's comparisons of like, he's going to be the next, Luis Suarez. No, he's not. He's not going to be anywhere like Luis Suarez. Luis Suarez goes down as like one of the top players in the world ever. You know, he's just
that's a
insane.
level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, look, I'm all for players putting in the effort, but if your job is solely to score goals, then you should be scoring goals with the chances you get, because you get very good chances from Liverpool midfielders, and Trent and Salah and all these guys are creating so much for him, and all he's got to do is put it in the net. Like, he's missing really, really big chances. Like, he's now going to have some kind of record soon of the most chances missed. Like, he almost broke who's the guy we had? Benteke's record last year for big chances missed. Like, I can see him breaking that record. Look, if you're not playing well, just take him off. Like, just sub him. Like, or just don't play him for the next game. Like, but the thing is, he should be scoring in the next game we've got, because we've got FC Union, I think, which we should get a couple of goals against them, and then we've got Man United at home. Like, he needs to be getting into form, otherwise it's a case of we will only have one or two strikers on form, which is going to be probably Salah and probably Gakpo, because I think Jota's still out for another game or two. Like, we need to be getting these players into form.
Jota could be that. Apparently, Jota could be back for Arsenal. So
okay,
that'd be a great. But
that will be great.
But you're right with Darwin. Look, Darwin's just
Tony Montana, more hairstyles than goals.
He's just.
It's becoming a bit obvious that the fame might be overtaking. Like, I don't know. I want my players to do well, by the way, mate. I want my players to do well.
And I like Darwin. 100%. I will say on my channel consistently, I actually like Darwin. I like the fact that he doesn't hide. That's one thing I've always said about Darwin. No matter what he does on the pitch,
he went hiding today. He hid today.
This is the first time I think Darwin went hiding.
He avoided the ball today.
Darwin usually just, if I miss, I still do this, I still do that. I've always said that about Darwin. He never hides. Today's game, that's why I just feel like he's just on a bit of a downer at the moment. I think he just needs a game.
Today's game isn't a game to play him, though. He got sent off the last time he played against Palace.
Yeah, I don't think.
And it kind of derailed his season for a bit.
Darwin's strengths. I always usually think when we play teams like Palace that are sitting like 8 men behind the ball, not moving out of position. Darwin's best for these games coming off the bench and being that player with half hour ago going against tight defensive legs. That's when you use Darwin for these games for me. I think you need a more tactical player up top who's good with his back to goal and can link the play in these kind of games. But Darwin will come good. You know what Darwin needs? Darwin just needs one of them goals that just comes off his shoulder, or comes off his hip. One of them silly goals that strikers go through when they're not scoring. And then it might click in. Now, it wouldn't surprise me if Darwin scored 2 goals against Man United next Sunday. It wouldn't shock me because Darwin does have it in his locker. But he's just going through a time at the moment where I think he just needs maybe pulled out of the team for a little bit, have a talk to, say, I still believe in you. You're still my player. I still want you here. You're just going for a bit at the moment. We're going to give you a little step out of the limelight for a second. Go bring so-and-so in and I'm going to bring you back. Just give him a little, little chat. But guys, he's not the only one. Darwin's not the only one.
Nope.
There's a Colombian liar that plays left wing. Yeah. Right, I'm going to say it right now. Luis Diaz is going through his Sadio Mane arc. He's just doing it a lot earlier. Luis Diaz needs to go from left wing to being the number 9, in my
He does.
opinion.
I agree. Put
He
him in the
can't
middle.
do it. Luis Diaz can't run past anyone anymore. He literally, he can't run past anyone no more. I think Luis Diaz in the number 9 position would work a lot better because Luis Diaz is really good in the box. Luis Diaz comes alive in the box. Pause. But he comes alive in the box, everyone, and he's good in the air. Get Luis Diaz central. Get Luis Diaz central on the left, on the wing, on the wide area. How many times do you see it when Liverpool have a counter attack? The ball gets played to Luis Diaz. He stops on the ball and then goes backwards.
Oh, it's so annoying.
He's been doing that lately. Instead of getting the ball to Diaz and him running past his defender, he gets it, stops on the ball, and then comes back inside.
Where did he score the goal today from? Where did he score the goal today from?
Central
From the
area.
centre.
Yeah,
From the centre.
Diaz.
He scored the goal today from the centre.
He's a much better player. This is what we're saying, guys. Darwin through the middle is a much better player. Luis Diaz. Forget Darwin a minute. Luis Diaz through the middle. Mane went from a left winger to that number 9, yeah? I'm starting to feel like Luis Diaz has got his Mane arc already, just a little bit earlier, because the last few games I've watched with Luis Diaz, he comes alive in and around the box in that central area because he doesn't need to rely on his pace like he does in the wide areas where he hasn't got what he used to have anymore. He hasn't got that zip in his running like he used to have. You can see what he's trying to do. He's trying to get the ball, knock it and run past, but he hasn't got quite that zip anymore. But as soon as he goes through the middle, he looks like a different player.
He's deadly at shooting as well. He really is good. He could score a lot of goals. I've said this on your show before, mate. I really think we need to get him in the box more, in the centre. Like he had a chance today where he went up with the goalkeeper because he's really good in the air as well. Like he's susceptibly good in the air, at winning headers. And he's a street baller as well. Like he's got that nasty element to his game where he can rough it up with players. So he'd be great if you threw the ball up into the air against him as well and went direct. But having him isolated on the wing, because he is isolated, by the way. Like we don't play Robbo, so he is isolated. We don't play a Robbo-sided left back. I know Tsimikas gets forward every now and again, but he hasn't really got a relationship with Diaz yet because he hasn't played with him much. And I don't think Robbo really has either. So just the way we play on the left-hand side doesn't really suit Diaz anymore. When he first came, he was an unknown quantity and he had a lot of form that he brought with him from Porto. Did we get him from Porto? It was Porto, wasn't it? Yeah. So he had a lot of form that he brought from Porto and he just carried it on really. And he was an unknown quantity, but I'd say the injuries. I'd also say the fact that he's playing in a system now where maybe that width on that side isn't that important. But I would happily put him in the centre instead of Nunes right now because I think we probably scored a few more goals.
Yeah, do you know what it is as well? I noticed today for the first time. I've seen it before, but it's not really clicked with me. But I noticed it today. Diaz and Darwin get in each other's way quite a lot.
Yeah, they do.
They run into exactly the same position because Darwin Nunes naturally drifts to the left-hand side from the middle, and Luis Diaz likes to drift into the middle from the left. They sort of get in each other's way because Luis Diaz don't hug the left-hand side no more, does he? He always cuts inside now. You always see Luis Diaz drifting into central areas, and they get in each other's way. There was that cross from Salah where they both ran and met each other. They just get in each other's way just a tiny bit, and
they at the Sheffield United game, they actually ran into each other, literally ran into each other in the penalty area.
It does happen quite a bit because they want to, because Darwin naturally drifts to the left hand side a little bit. That's natural to him, and then Luis Diaz naturally wants to come inside, so they get into them areas where, because Darwin, it's just the way they play. I just
so toothless in attack today. It was
I
ridiculous.
just feel like I've been saying this
We
for a while now, and the chat will know this because I've been saying this in my last few shows. The way Liverpool play with the attack, I still think we're set up better if we play a false nine.
We had no shots in the first half in that game, by the way, today.
No, I think a false nine suits us better. I really do. I just think there's something about the way we play with the attackers we got that a false nine just suits us better. A Jota or a Cody playing in that false nine role, especially Cody, because he drops deep. Salah and then Diaz will come running inside without a striker in their way. You've almost got a two up front at times and a Gakpo behind. It's
Well,
because
that's the
of the
old
way
way, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
That's
because of
the
the
old
way we
way.
set up. We got wingers that are not wingers. They're inside forwards. They want to cut inside all the time to get shots off and goal and run into the box inside. You look at Martinelli for Arsenal. So Martinelli keeps the width a lot for Arsenal. You see him, he gets to the byline and he cuts inside from the byline. Saka likes to cut inside from the right-hand side like Mo does. So you got one winger that comes inside and then one winger that stays on the outside quite a lot. With Liverpool, Luis Diaz and Mo Salah like to run in. So if they're running from wide to in constantly, but you've got a striker there holding up the space, you're either going to get in the way of each other, like we've seen today, or that means your best striker in Mo has to stay really wide so he can let Darwin get into them spaces. So it's...
That's what Mo does. Mo goes really wide now.
So
started that last year. Do you remember we were all saying he was with the linesman last year? He was so far out of the game. Mo got a goal and an assist today as well, by the way, and didn't play well.
Yeah, Mo that's the thing.
He didn't play well at all today.
Steve, I can get things wrong, man. I can get things wrong, my friend. I can get things wrong. I'm just going on the way we're playing recently. It does look like we should still play with a false nine. I was hoping that we outgrown it, and now the Darwin factor's here. But it don't look that way, does it? Because Darwin and Luis Diaz getting each other's way.
We haven't outgrown it because we're not scoring any goals.
Yeah, Salah's playing really, really wide. It just looks like we need that false nine. So I'm going to go with it now. So I can get things wrong, my friend. I can get things wrong. And it might also depend on the game we play. Like, Darwin might be effective in one game playing the striker. Gakpo might be effective. But it's the way we play. Our wingers don't stay. Our wingers are not wingers where they get up and down the wide areas and then come inside from the byline and get crosses in that way. And if you're doing that, an out-and-out striker would be your best bet, because if you've got a false nine with wide players that stay wide, then they got no one to hit in the box. But our wingers come inside, so it might be better to have a false nine there. It depends on the game, I suppose. But look, I can be wrong, my man. I can be wrong. Don't bother me. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. Oh, Hamza, you might have joined us late, man. We've been positive for the first hour of the show, man. We're well positive. Go back to the beginning of the show. We were extremely positive.
This is the dark moment.
We're just going through the little bit of negatives in the game. That's all. But we were well positive for the first hour, my man. We were loving life. Cody's more difficult to knock off the ball than Jota in some ways. Gakpo reminds me of Coutinho. Tricky, strong round of the ball. Yeah, Gakpo is hard to knock off the ball, and he does draw a lot of fouls. Yeah. He draws a lot of fouls because he's got that long stride pattern. So when he gets hold of the ball, he's not quick, Gakpo, but what he's got that really long stride pattern, like Gravenberch, that long stride pattern that gets him away from a player. And he's been doing well. And I just
wish
wonder.
He'd shoot more. I do wish he'd shoot more.
And so we're not, as I keep saying, I love Darwin. I just think Darwin's going through a moment at the, like all strikers do. It's just going through that period in time where I think Darwin just needs one to come off his hip, one off his shoulder, something stupid like that, and he gets back in the goals. And I think that gives his positivity a go again. And you see him a go again. That's all. No way, Hamza. Big up, man. So yeah, the forwards were dry. They were dry. There's no doubt about it.
Salah 200 goals though, mate. He's done it.
Yeah, I'm glad he's got it now because he can go back to being normal Salah
Yeah,
again.
he can go back to being brilliant. And not garbage and stinky for the last couple of games.
Mo's a weird man, you know. He's weird.
weird.
Mo can be absolutely ordinary, but then get a goal and assist in the same game.
That's called world class. That's just called being world class.
He's just he's clutch. That's what he is, man. He's different gravy. Yeah, he gets us back in the game, and then obviously the assists are the winner. It's just, I love Salah's going through a bit, but he's top 10 all-time Premier League goal scorer now. I think he only has to score one more goal, and he goes up to 8th in that list. He's 5th top goal scorer ever for Liverpool. I mean, what more can you say, man?
I've got some crazy records he's broke this year already. Hang on, let me just log back into my computer and tell you them. These are nuts. He's overtook Thierry Henry's record as well in the European competitions.
Oh man, he's gravy.
He's got some crazy stats this season. Hang on. I've got like 22 records that he set. Like some of them are bonkers. Like he's our all-time Premier League scorer with 129 goals for Liverpool. He's the first player to score in an opening league match for 4 years in a row. He did that this year. He scored 20 goals in 3 Premier League seasons. The first Liverpool player to ever do that. He's the only Liverpool player to grab a brace after coming on as a substitute on 2 occasions. He scored 50 goals in 69 matches. The only player to do, followed by Fernando Torres. He scored 44 goals in the Champions League to become Liverpool's all-time scorer. He's the only African to net 30 or more Premier League goals in a season. He's the first Egyptian to win the Premier League, by the way, in case anyone didn't know that.
I didn't really think there was any other.
I thought there was an Egyptian that played for Chelsea, but I can't remember his name.
No. What was his name? It was Mo Salah. No.
No, there's another one. There's another one that played. Yeah, you're right though. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, that's funny.
Ben Ahim, are you on about? I don't think.
I think that's him.
He was Algerian. I think.
What is it? Okay, yeah. So he overtook Thierry Henry by scoring. Oh, hang on. So, hang on.
He's lost his stats.
I've lost my thing.
The stat man's lost his stats.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. He scored 200 goals in 325 games, by the way, for us, which is just bonkers. That's just
mad.
Incredible.
Just mad.
So he's 5th. So Billy Little's got 228 goals. He's on 200 now. Billy Little scored 228 in 534 games. Mo's done it in 325.
Just mad, isn't it?
In a time where players are better, like goalkeepers are better. You know,
it's just defenses are better as well.
You know what I mean? Footballs are different. You know, equipment's different. Like you've got VAR, you've got goal line technology. You know what I mean? You've got like a different offside rule. Like there's so many different elements of the game, which makes it so much harder. Doesn't make it easier. Makes it harder.
He's just a tremendous footballer. At the end of the day,
incredible.
He's just a tremendous footballer, and if he stays at Liverpool, I think he's a chance that he could be 2nd ever top goal scorer for Liverpool behind Rush.
I think so.
I think there's that huge possibility, and I think that is maybe why he stays at Liverpool, because we know he's
85 goals. He's 85 goals to get to Roger Hunt.
Yeah, and I think that is well in his grasp if he stays at Liverpool.
Yeah,
that's well in his grasp, and I think with Mo, I think he is about records and statements, and if he can get to that record, it's very hard not to say he's Liverpool's greatest ever player, man. You know, that's right, Daryl. Big up. He was Israeli and big up. That you know, Gerrard and Dalglish are in that 1 and 2 bracket for Liverpool's greatest ever player. If Salah can get to Sir Roger Hunt's scoring record as a right winger, then you can argue that he's Liverpool's greatest ever player. And I think if you look at that, Salah will want them records, that accomplishment, that recognition. That's why I think he stays at Liverpool. I don't see why he'd leave. Makes no sense at all.
So the 3 records he's broke this year, I've got them now. So Salah broke the highest scoring Premier League player in European competitions, overtaking Thierry Henry. So he's done that this year. He became the 3rd player in Liverpool history to achieve the feat of scoring in each of the opening 5 home league matches of the season. Harry Chambers and John Aldridge have also done that. And he also scored his 200 goal, which puts him in 5th player to reach that landmark. And he also overtook another player as well and ended up 8th in the Premier League record as well. Just crazy, mate. He's just smashing them up again, like record after record after record.
So I'm going to just put this out there, guys. So, top goal scorers in the Premier League this season. Haaland is number 1 with 14 goals. Number 2 is Mo Salah with 11. Big up Jarrod Bowen, by the way, with 9. He's 3rd. But Mo Salah's got 11 goals in the Premier League this season. Haaland's got 14. Assists. Mo Salah is top of the assist pile with Pedro Neto with 7.
Just insane.
So, like, this season, Salah is top of the assist pile with 7 with Neto. And he's 3 goals behind Haaland, who's a goal scoring machine and a striker at the top of the goal scoring charts. That's just madness.
I think he might end up being the top assister this year. I think he might, especially the fact that Kevin De Bruyne isn't playing. I think he will. He scored 14 goals total this season, by the way, because he's got 3 in the Champions League as well.
Yeah, right. And by the way, he should have more.
Sorry, not in the Champions League, Europa League.
He should have more assists than that as well. With a certain man put his chance.
Yeah, I know he should.
But...
you know he should. He should be in double figures.
But yeah, Mo didn't play well at all, but then assists and scores. It's so it's just the way Mo plays at the moment. Harvey Elliott, the man on the thumbnail. The man on the thumbnail. We're going to get to Alisson Becker, guys. Don't worry. I see everyone in the chat. What about Alisson? What about Alisson? We're going to get to Alisson. He's the main event. Don't worry about that. But Harvey Elliott. Harvey. I said it on my preview show yesterday. I like Curtis Jones. But in my opinion, Harvey Elliott is a better footballer. And he's younger. And I think in like 2 or 3 years' time, Harvey Elliott is going to overtake Curtis Jones in this team. And, as a footballer. He's a tremendous little player. And this ain't reactionary. Because for me, Harvey Elliott's been good all season. I think Harvey Elliott has been impactful for us all season. Now, it might be a lot of off-the-bench substitution appearances, but how many people off the bench have got players that can come on and make a difference in midfield as much as Harvey Elliott does? It might not be a sexy name, he might not be fashionable or anything like that, but he's an impact player off the bench. It's a squad game that you need a squad. You need impact players that come off the bench to do business. Harvey's got a few goals this season. He's got a couple of assists. He comes on, he plays well. We always say after every game when Harvey comes on, he's been great. Harvey came on and played well again. We've said it every match almost. And today he gets the winner. because he's capable of it. He's a very talented footballer that for some reason we diss because his name's Harvey Elliott and he's got a perm. So we sort of we just dismiss it. He's a quality little player, man. We forget how old he is. That goal today was superb. Absolutely superb, K-Mac, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And he's got that in his locker, by the way. He scored a few of those already. He's 20 years old. Like, how many players at that age who've got that kind of IQ, who can come on and totally change a game, affect the game, pick up those little pockets, he's starting to look like a certain player that Manchester City used to bring on a lot when he was young, called Phil Foden, where he'd come on and he'd affect the game. He'd play in those pockets, interchange, he'd pop up with goals, he'd pop up with assists. He's starting to look like our Phil Foden for me, and I'm fine with that. I'm absolutely fine with that. He's took his form from the Euros straight into this season. And I like the fact that Klopp isn't playing him in that central midfield position that he was getting rinsed at all the time. But it also helps the fact that we're now playing inverted as well, and we're having more protection on the right-hand side. And because Joe Gomez was there, he had that protection, so he could get forward, and he scored his goal because he had that protection. Like, he wasn't having to do all the tracking back. That's not really Harvey's game. He's not a defender. He's not a defender. He's not a strong player. So you give him the ball. If he breaks free, he's got a bit of space in front of him. He'll create. He put in an absolutely brilliant cross in that little cameo that he came on, which their goalie had to save, which Diaz was on the end of, but their goalie saved it. Like, he could have had an assist. He could have maybe scored another goal. Like, he takes shots. I just think he's a really, really good player to bring on with 30 minutes left in a game. And if that's what we're using him for all season, then fine. He's 20 years old.
He is a superb little talent, and do you know what I like about him? He's got football IQ, as you said. He's an intelligent player. He knows what his role is. His goal today was fantastic. He's capable of that as well. It's not a surprise to me that Harvey Elliott scored that goal today, because he's very, very capable of that. I've seen it many times, and I rate the kid. I really do. Now, he might not be a starter at the moment because he goes a bit missing when he starts, but I'm not worried by that, because you say he's only just turned 20. He's come back from a very serious injury. Let's not forget about that as well.
Yeah, his foot popped out. His foot popped out of his socket. Like, I watched that. It was horrific.
Horrible injury. It made Salah sick when he saw it, if you remember rightly. Like, Salah was being sick. Like, it was horrible. He couldn't believe it. He was crying. Jurgen Klopp cried after Harvey's injury in his interview. I've never seen that. That's how much Harvey means to this team. So, yeah, I think we get carried away. I've been saying this as well. I think people get carried away by people in your squad because they're not a fashionable name. Our squad is really good. It got proved today by the substitutions. All the subs impacted the game today. Every single one of them. And that's the quality of our squad. Because they're not big names. They're not sexy names. They're not fashionable names. Some of them are English players. So we're down on them for some reason. It's madness to me. There's not many benches where you can look at your bench and go, he's going to have an impact for me when I come on. I can trust him when he comes on. You know what I mean? So I think we got to start looking at a squad and go, you know what? Our squad's a lot better than we give it credit for. It really is.
There was 3 subs that we brought on today, and they've all been at Liverpool since they were 17 years old. All of them. You've got Elliott, you've got Jones, you've got Gomez, all at Liverpool when they were 17 years old. Like, and then you've got Quansah, who was at Liverpool when he was 17 years old. How many other teams in the Premier League can you say have got players like that? Like, and Trent was on the pitch, 17 years old. He was at Liverpool. Like, literally, these are kids coming into our academy, whether they were from our academy or whether we signed them for our academy. But that's a Klopp. That's Klopp. That's Klopp that's doing that. That's him and Linders as well, by the way. So you've got to give some kudos to Linders because he was in charge of our kids when all these guys were there under Rodgers.
The youth team is starting to cook
The youth
now.
team.
You know, we all had worries about the academy. Now you look at it and thinking, all right, you know, some of them have been bought in. I get it. Some
Connor Bradley and Chambers on the bench as well, by the way.
Connor Bradley,
like, they're both kids that came through the academy.
Highly thought of. Curtis Jones came through the academy.
Fantastic stuff. Really is.
Kwanzaa came through the academy. By the way, I thought Kwanzaa had a good game today. I don't even think that was a penalty because I know the Villa Arsenal game, there was a similar incident that weren't a penalty either, and people were comparing the two.
It was Van Dijk.
One was a penalty, the other should be a penalty.
Not Kwanzaa.
Was it Van? Sorry, no, Van Dijk was the first one, wasn't it? And then Kwanzaa was the. I didn't think either was a penalty. I'm being realistic. Sometimes it happens when you're trying to swipe the ball and a leg just gets in the way. You're not.
Oh no! The penalty. The penalty was Trent.
Yeah.
The penalty was Trent.
I can't remember.
It was Trent that kicked him.
But I thought Kwanzaa had a good game today. I thought Kwanzaa was all right under the cosh, but I think
it was just tactics. Tactical change.
You know, Virgil was great again. But let's talk about the main man.
Virgil. Oh, Virgil was sensational today, by the way.
He was great, but Alisson, Poxy, Becker.
Wow.
If he isn't, I think we understood today why he's the best goalkeeper in world football without a shadow of a doubt. And if anyone he had that one bad game against Man City and everyone go, oh, maybe he ain't as good as everyone thinks he is. Nah. Then 2 saves at the end of the game is why he's goalkeepers like that. Goalkeepers like that win you Premier Leagues. That's what a goalkeeper does. Them goalkeepers win you Premier Leagues. And I look at Arsenal and I think their goalkeeping situation is what's going to cost them the Premier League title.
I think
because Raya's not good enough. Because Raya, if you have 10 shots at Raya, I think you're guaranteed to score 3 of them.
Did you see what Aston Villa did on the corners? They had about 6 players on Raya.
They just went all round him because they know he's
hilarious.
Ramsdale weren't good enough last year. That's why they went and got Raya to win the title. Arteta said it himself. You know, right? You know, if Arteta thought Ramsdale was good enough to win the title, he wouldn't have got Raya. I don't think. I think that's going to be Arsenal's downfall. Is that they didn't get a world-class goalkeeper.
I agree.
I look at Alisson Becker and he wins your Premier League titles. That sort of, you know, if Kelleher was in goal today, I think that game would have been a draw. That's not an insult on Kelleher. No. It's just what Alisson is. It's just godlike. And it's ridiculous.
I think Kelleher would have really struggled with those long balls they played. Alisson had to go up a lot to save those. And that first half save where he tipped it onto the post, I don't think there's many goalkeepers that keep that out. You know, the one that came across the box?
Yeah.
And he just
fully
smashed it. Fully smashed it at the goal. And he palmed it out onto the post. That save was ridiculous. That was an incredible save.
I've seen a lot of people online after that game go, the shot was straight at him. This is where people don't understand. Firstly, it was 4 yards out, and
he was moving across the goal,
and it was as hard as anyone
Ali was moving.
But Ali moved before the ball was kicked because Ali's positioning in goal is out of this world. Ali was moving towards that side of the goal before the player even take the strike. He was like, and that's why he got to the ball. He's just out of this world. He's just ridiculous. He really is.
He saved us in the 98th minute from their corner as well. I think it was Anderson, their defender. like point blank header that was going in the top bin. He saved that as well. That was like in the 98th minute or something daft like that. Like that could have been their equaliser. And let's be honest, they deserved it. Like, yeah, I think if Keller played, we'd have drew that, or even lost it. If I'm honest, like it's hard not to.
It's just mad we are winning the league without Kev. We are. I'm telling you.
We are.
Look, Liverpool win every game now till the end of the season. The Premier League champions. I'm just saying. And Liverpool gone to some hard away grounds early in the season as well and got points. You know, Man City got to come to Anfield. Newcastle got to come to Anfield.
Arsenal.
Brighton have got to come to Anfield. Arsenal got to come to Anfield. Tottenham have got to come to Anfield. Palace have got to come to Anfield because that's a hard away game. You know, had difficult away games early in the season and got points. And we know how good we are at Anfield. Brighton.
We played a lot of our teams away.
Liverpool got a decent squad. If Liverpool can get past, I'll tell you what, guys. If Liverpool beat Arsenal and Man United in their next two games, if Liverpool beat Man United, which we should because they're shit, we're going to talk about that in 1 second. If Liverpool beat Man United and then they beat Arsenal just before Christmas, it's going to be very hard not to think Liverpool favourites of the Premier League. If Liverpool can knock Man United off and knock Arsenal off before Christmas Day in our next two Premier League games and win both of their matches, Liverpool have to be favourites of the Premier League without a shadow of a doubt. Without a shadow of a doubt, because how can you not believe? How could this team not believe in themselves if they pull this off? I think.
Who have Arsenal got in their next game? Have Arsenal got Newcastle?
I can't remember who Arsenal got. Arsenal. Let me have a look at Arsenal's.
Because if we beat Arsenal, then obviously that's another 3 points. So that puts us 4 points ahead of them.
No, Arsenal got Brighton.
Oh, they got okay. So they have got a hard game. I thought they had a hard game.
They're at home to Brighton.
Yeah, Brighton seems to be
playing
at
home to Brighton
away,
and then away to us. They're away to us, and then they're at home to West Ham, and then they're away to Fulham.
That's not an easy game either. West Ham.
So their Christmas period is home to Brighton, away to Liverpool, home to West Ham, and away to Fulham. That's their Christmas period.
They're not easy games. We could be 7 points ahead of them, I think, if we win our games. And obviously them. I think we could. I think they'll drop points.
Yeah, it's just
like when they went a goal down today, they had loads of chances. By the way, Arsenal, they had loads of chances. Like they look a bit.
Arsenal
sometimes.
Arsenal, I think Arsenal look a bit tired at times.
Ran out of
ideas because a lot of their players play every match,
every single match.
I think Arsenal played a bit like Liverpool. You know, what gets on my nerves, I don't know about everyone in the chat right now, but what irritates me, there's two things that irritate me. One, Jamie Carragher. So, Jamie Carragher on commentary today for the Aston Villa Arsenal game was praising, and I mean praising where he was almost wanking them off about their high line, right? Their high line and how superb it is. But then
he hates ours.
And then criticises Liverpool's high line. And then criticises our high line. You can't make this up. So he's praising Aston Villa's high line today and gushing off. Oh, it's amazing. What a job.
Was listening to that.
So good at it. And then
I was listening to that thinking, hypocrite.
You've got to stop doing that. It's just like, what? It's just madness. And then
he was like, oh, in the 80th minute, I'd be in my own penalty box now.
Yeah, Liverpool played at high line till the 95th minute. And it's like he's just seen it for the first time, but he criticises ours, but praises theirs.
We literally played today with two at the back all game.
It's just
away.
I don't get it. I really don't get it. And then the other thing that I get annoyed with is that when Arsenal come back from the jaws of defeat, it's title winning aspiration. This team's ready to win the title. When Liverpool come back from the jaws of the defeat, Liverpool got lucky and they can't
We got
continue
lucky.
playing.
I know.
Yeah, Liverpool can't continue playing like this, and they got lucky. When Arsenal do it every single week, it's like, oh, they look like champions. They're going to be hard to beat. It's
But we're
like,
not.
what is going on? Am I in a parallel universe or
I know.
something?
And they're not going to
It's
say
just
we're looking
madness.
like champions, are they?
It's just, yeah, like we're top of the league at the moment. No matter what happens this weekend, Man City got Luton tomorrow. Don't matter if they win, 'cause they're 4 points behind us. We are top of the weekend, top of the league till next weekend.
Yeah.
And all we're getting is like, yeah, but Liverpool don't look like they can sustain it because they keep coming back from defeats. And then I look at that today, they had a thing. Do you know the top 2 teams are that coming back from defeats this season? Liverpool and Arsenal. But when Arsenal do it, they're getting called like, oh, that's why they look like champions in the making. Liverpool do it, oh, they can't sustain this. They can't sustain it. It's like, oh, it's just, it's just mad.
I think ours is 14 games. We've come back from being a goal down, by the way, which is just
it's
mental.
Not sustainable. It's not sustainable. But what I'm talking about is when they praise Arsenal for it as champions,
I know,
and Liverpool are lucky. I'm looking
lucky.
at today. I've been reading some of the media today. Can Liverpool continue with this kind of form to stay top of the league for the rest of the season? I very much doubt it. And then I read the Arsenal thing. Oh, Arsenal unlucky today. They should have scored more, but they do look like Prem champions in waiting. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, literally, I don't get it. It's just madness to me. It really is. You know, yes, we drew to Luton 1-1, but Arsenal conceded 3 goals to Luton and needed a last-second goal in the 97th minute of 96 minutes that were meant to be played, of the 97th minute to beat Luton. And everyone's
they also went behind twice. They went behind twice in that game.
Yeah, exactly. But it's champions winning stuff. Liverpool play Palace today, and it's like, oh, they got lucky. VAR, it weren't a red card. And I'm like, it's not a red card. Do you know the rules of the game? You're not allowed to encroach on set pieces. If you encroach on set pieces, it's a yellow card. And if you foul someone when a player is on the counter attack, it's called a professional foul, which is a yellow card. Both incidences might be soft in the eyes of the world, but in the rules of the game, they're yellow cards. And Rio Ferdinand's sitting there going, I can't believe it. I can't believe it with his Turkish hair transplant. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. What do you mean you can't believe it? You know the rules of the game, you absolute sin bin. Yeah, what are we? What? It's just madness.
It does look like Rio Ferdinand's being replaced by a clone, doesn't it?
It
does look a bit weird.
Rio Ferdinand looks more like Anton Ferdinand now.
Yeah, I know, it's a bit weird. I noticed that. I was like, is that Rio Ferdinand or is that a clone?
I can't. Oh, it's a simple.
Are we gonna talk about how crap Man United are then?
Yeah, we got a bit of fun.
Manager of the month, player of the month.
Let's have a bit of
everything
fun.
of the month.
Let's have
and then they get trashed.
Let's have a bit of fun here. I don't know why I call Rio Ferdinand a sin bin either. I don't know what that means. Sin bin. I was meant to say a prat, but for some reason sin bin came out. Looks like he's back on the sniff. So Man United lost 3-0 at home to Bournemouth today, and it could have been 4-0.
Easy.
What I don't get, you know the ball came off his hand, right? But the net was empty, right? And he rolled the ball in the net. What's it really matter if it came off his hand or not? The net was empty. It's not like he won't go score. You know, just let it be 4-0. Just let it be 4-0. They got outdone. I was told Amrabat. Amrabat's a DM Liverpool should have been going for. Everyone was Amrabat. We need Amrabat. Shit. Can't
Amrabat
run.
Needs a diet. He needs a diet.
He looks heavy. He looks terrible. They brought on. Did you see their substitutions today?
No, I didn't watch it.
Two of them.
I watched the highlights.
One of them was Johnny Evans.
Oh my god! I thought he quit.
We're almost
finished.
We're almost in 2024, and they brought Johnny Evans on when they were losing 3-0.
They could have had Yuri Tillemans from Leicester. They took Johnny Evans. Look how well Yuri Tillemans is doing.
They are terrible.
I don't want him sacked, though. I mean, keep it level. I don't want him sacked. I want him to stay. Like, just keep him there for as long as they can, please. Like, I don't want 10 gone. I want 10 to stay.
And Anthony, oh my God.
My God.
I remember our fan base wetting themselves because they thought we should have bought Anthony. Oh, we let him go to Man United. What have we done? He would have been a perfect backup for Salah. This is why I don't listen to people when it comes to transfer dealings. You know, because he looked a bit good in Holland. He's the worst. You know, Brazilians hate him so much. They think he's Peruvian. That's how much, you know, they can't stand. He's the most un-Brazilian footballer I've ever seen in my life. Drift, he wanted him. Big up Drift. He did low, and I don't think he does no more. He is absolute awful footballers. They've got horrible players. There's not one Man United. I'm telling you right now, there's not one Man United player that gets in Liverpool's team. Not one.
No.
Anyone in the chat, can you name me one Man United player that gets in Liverpool's team? Like one, because I can't.
Now, did you see Bruno got a yellow card as well, so he doesn't play against Liverpool?
Yeah, Bruno looks at him and thought, stuff it, I don't want to play. He's like, we're already losing 3-0. Already losing 3-0. I don't fancy the trip to Anfield next weekend.
I'm not getting a 7-0 thumping.
If he was my captain, if I was a Man United fan, that was my captain, I would be on the streets marching, because it looks like that what we were just saying, it looks like that's what he's done, though, ain't it?
Yeah, it does.
He doesn't fancy the Anfield trip.
Yeah,
so he's got himself suspended on purpose. What it looks like to me.
83 minute, he got the yellow card in the 83rd minute when they're 3-0 down. Like,
I love I can't take a striker who doesn't score for a striker that doesn't score.
We've lost Gomez, by the way, for the Man United game. Just in case people didn't know, he got 5 yellow cards, so he's out for the next game.
Who is?
Gomez.
Gomez out for Liverpool. Oh, it don't matter. It's Man United.
Yeah, he's out for the Man United game.
That's like playing Ipswich at the moment. It should be all right.
I'm not sure who else. I think it's just Gomez.
Yeah, McAllister will be back for it as well.
Yeah.
Big up King. He says our forwards aren't firing right now. See, United game with a much tight scoreline. But you could also twist it and say the United game is the perfect game for our forwards to start scoring again.
Yeah, I think.
Do you want to play?
I think when we played them last year, I don't think we were playing well, and then we scored 7 in that game. And Salah didn't get a goal, did he? In that game? I know that wasn't that game. That was Bournemouth. But yeah, I don't think our forwards were doing well before that game. And then we obviously
we were crap last season, and we were crap
last season before we played.
Still beat them 7-0. You know what I mean?
We had some really random games where we just scored tons of goals.
Didn't we beat Man United 7-0, then lost the following week to Bournemouth 1-0?
Yeah. Yeah, we did. You're right.
It's such a Liverpool thing to do.
No, you're right.
It's such a Liverpool thing to do. Do you remember Gary Neville saying at the end of the game that Liverpool didn't play well, but we won 7-0?
I tell you what, I absolutely loved that when Firmino came on and scored the 7th. I just loved that. Gapco had a really good game in that game. Maybe he was just playing him again. He scored 2, didn't he? I think.
Yeah, but like Revenite says here, big up John. He says our forwards better shoot on sight for fuck's sake. Anana's in the net. This is a good point. Anana can't save shots. He can't save shots. So if I'm Klopp all week in training, I'm just practicing long shots. Get the team just doing long shots in training, and then just make sure a striker follows everything up, because Anana can't catch anything. If he saves it, he bounces it out in front of him all the time. So what you do, long shots, and then that gets someone to run in the box to follow it up. I'm telling you, that's how we score next week. 20-yard long shot. Anana pants it out because he can't catch a thing, and Darwin has a tap in or something like that. That is what's going to happen next week.
He made it into the FIFA Goalkeeper of the Year.
Alisson wasn't even in the top 10.
Anana. How on earth did that happen? How on earth did that happen?
And everyone says, right, I've been watching people say, yeah, but he weren't like this at Inter Milan and Ajax. And I was like, yes, he was. Going back and look at him at Ajax and Inter Milan, he made loads of mistakes. All the time. He's terrible.
Didn't Ten Hag get rid of him That's what I don't understand. I think Ten Hag got rid of a couple of the players that he signed from Ajax. Like, he binned them and then thought, you know what, they're good enough for Man United.
Ten Hag has said he can't play his way with these players, and that's why they're failing. But he bought these players.
He bought them. He's literally got half of his squad from Ajax.
It makes no sense. Somehow he bought Anthony, but he can't make Anthony play like he did at Ajax.
Wow.
Maybe you're not a very good coach, Ten Hag. Maybe maybe you're just not actually a very good coach or manager, and you're being fanned out a little bit. Also, these Man United players are dirt.
Yeah,
they're absolute dirt because they are getting managers sacked. What is it Roy Keane says? These are players that get managers sacks.
Yeah,
because they don't play for any manager. They don't literally care. They're all self-indulgent, spoiled little shits.
Poison chalice at that club.
Yeah, all them players are spoiled little shits. That's what
they always have like a 6 to 8 month manager bounce, and then they just go back into their normal mode. Yeah.
Man United, man, I can't wait. I literally can't wait for a Man United game. I really can't.
No,
because they got no Bruno. They got no Bruno Fernandes for that game. They're probably going to line up with Johnny Evans and Harry Maguire at centre back, Luke Shaw at left back, Wan-Bissaka at right back, and Nana in goal. And they're probably going to play a midfield three of McTominay. Who else they got? That's how bad their midfield is. If there's no Bruno, who have they actually got?
Is Casemiro still injured?
I think Casemiro's dead. I think he's like. Who else have they actually got?
They might play that Manu guy. That kid.
What? That kid who they rate after watching him for 60 minutes.
Yeah.
And Amrabat. Oh, we're cooking. If they play Amrabat, that youth kid, and McTominay in midfield.
That'd be nice.
That Palace midfield was better than that today. That's just a joke.
Oh. Anyway, I've got a shoot in a bit, mate. All right.
No, it's mate. Yeah, we'll go end in a minute. Liverpool 6-7 says we're just having a purple. We're just having purple purchases, but to be honest, we're playing crap football. If we want to win the EPL, we have to up our game and buy a centre back or a DM or a right back and a midfield destroyer and move Arnold into midfield. I hear what you're saying, Liverpool 67. I do hear what you're saying, but Arsenal have 3 DMs and they've lost 2 games this season. Like actual DMs, Jorginho, Partey, and Rice, and they've lost 2 games this season.
I mean, everyone's saying Rice is like the best signing of the season. Right.
And we've lost 1 game in the Premier League, and apparently we don't have a DM. Don't know, man. Don't know. And let's face it, if our attackers took their chances against Luton, we'd be clear at the top.
Oh God, we had so many good chances against Luton.
We
really did. And we had some really good chances against Tottenham as well, by the way, even when we were on 9 men.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if you want to see some of the best attacking football from a 9-man team, just watch the highlights of that Tottenham game in the second half. We battered them.
But I do agree with Liverpool 67 here. We are playing crap. But I do agree with you. But the thing is, though, that's a positive in a weird way because we're playing crap at winning games of football. You've got to think eventually, within a season, Liverpool go play better. If our performances pick up, then, things are going to be different, ain't they? So it can be a negative and a positive at the same time. We're playing crap, but top of the league. It can only get better, surely. We'll see. It's a long old season.
When we start clicking, like honestly, like I fear for the team that it's probably going to be Man United, by the way, at home. I mean, like when we all click, it's probably going to be Man United at home, or even Arsenal. Like I do fear for the team that's going to be on the end of that because it is going to be a goal glut. I just think it will.
Yeah, exactly. So John says here, suppose I grab Birch in our front 3 are awful and we still won. They got to improve. If we do, we'll be smashing many teams. Exactly. It's just, there's so many positives. It's a long old season, guys. Though it's a long old season. If we win the league, it's massive. if we just fall off the league, it's not going to be the end of the world. I think Liverpool. I do think something's going to happen this year with Liverpool. I really do. I think Liverpool going to do something this year. It's either win the league, win the Europa. I think Liverpool got the potential to win a couple of trophies this year.
Baby quad.
Yeah, there you go. I think Liverpool can seriously win the League Cup. We've got West Ham in the quarters, and I think only Chelsea and Newcastle are the other good teams in that.
Mm.
You know, and I think
they're playing each other.
And they played each other, ain't they? So one of them are going to go out. If Liverpool beat West Ham, you got to feel like Liverpool go win the League Cup.
We could end up with like Middlesbrough or Preston
So Liverpool could win the league
in the next game. Honestly,
Liverpool beat West Ham in a couple of weeks' time. I think it is.
That's a home as well, by the way.
Liverpool could win the League Cup, and if Liverpool win the League Cup in February or March the 1st or whatever it is, and then we're doing well in Europa League. Yeah, I just don't understand.
Our next important Europa League game isn't until March, by the way.
Yeah, we don't.
Like,
yeah,
it's a long
we don't
way.
Play the last 32. Yeah, we don't play the last 32.
You also have to look at.
A break in January. Don't forget, there's a winter break in January.
I think that's going to be good as well. Someone wrote in the chat as well. It's a really interesting comment. Is some of our players are used to having that winter break. Like, they're not used to playing as many games up until this part of the season, because even in Europe they don't play that many games just before Christmas. So we have a few players that aren't used to that. Is in Gravenberch and also Dominic Szoboszlai, because they're used to that winter break that you normally get. So that's an interesting one to think about. And you also have to think about Klopp has a habit of going on a really, really good run after Christmas. It's in our DNA. We've done it all the time. Always go in this mad run. And it's whether the other teams can keep up with us now. That's exactly how I feel now. It's whether they can keep up with us. I'm not bothered about anyone now. It's they need to keep up with us. Like, this is the first time we've gone top this season. First time we've gone top this season, and we haven't played that well. Maybe 2 games we played decent. Like, it's so promising. It really is. It can only get better.
And even last season when we were absolutely cack, we still went on a winning run towards the end of the season.
Mad run we went on.
It's even to just finish 5th. We just finished out missing 4th.
If we'd have had another 2 games, we'd have probably made it into the top 4, because we were winning all our games.
So last season when we were dead and we couldn't do anything, we still went on a run. It's saying about this Liverpool team when it comes February, March time. They sort of like they smell it and want.
Salah said it in the interview today. By the way, he was being interviewed on TNT with Harvey, and he said we still have players in our dressing room who have got that in them. Like, they know how to win. Like, they know how to do these things. Like, we've done it before, and we're the ones that are spreading this across all the other new players. Like, showing them that we can do it. And like I said, it's those players, Alisson, Trent, Virgil van Dijk and Salah. They're the best players this season, and they've done it before, and they've won it before. And these are the key players. And I just think it's absolutely brilliant. Like, I'm really looking forward to next year. And
look how hard it is to beat us. Look how hard.
You could score an 80th minute goal and we still win the match.
We are ready. We are winning this. Big up, Albert. It's been a while, Albert. Are you doing well, mate?
Yeah, big up, Albert.
It's happening, he says. Look how hard it is to beat us. You know, it's really hard to beat us. Like, we don't know when we're down. We don't know when we're dead. You have to.
Can you imagine teams watching us? Can you imagine other teams watching us, like when they've got to play us next, and they see like another team taking the lead in like the 80th minute, and they're like, "Oh yeah, look, you can get it, Liverpool," and then they get beat. I think it must be really hard.
I do think something's going to happen this season. I look at the League Cup. I'm looking at the start with, because we've got West Ham at home in next week or the week after. Chelsea and Newcastle are playing each other, and I think the other game's Middlesbrough and someone, ain't it?
Yeah.
Liverpool will be firm favourites to win that if they get past West Ham. If we get past West Ham, because that's going to be a difficult game. If we get past West Ham, I think there's every chance Liverpool can win that League Cup, and then with many more trophies.
Isn't the next round double-legged?
Semi-finals double-legged, yeah.
Mate, it doesn't matter who we play, whether it's Newcastle or Chelsea. Over 2 legs, Klopp's a genius.
Yeah, that's why in Europe we always get to finals and stuff, because of that 2-legged thing.
Over 2 legs, no one's beating us.
That's what I said in Europa League. Apart from maybe playing a Roma because of Mourinho, or a Bayer Leverkusen because of how they're playing at the moment, and any team that finishes third in the Champions League over 2 legs, I still fancy us.
I can't see anyone over 2 legs, mate. Honestly, we're that good.
And look, the 11th of May. Keep the 11th of May in thingy, because the 11th of May is when we play away to Aston Villa.
I'd love us to take their record.
That's when Liverpool win.
We're going to take their record, aren't we?
Liverpool win the Premier League.
They're pretty garbage
League, then.
At home to us, you know. We're a bit of their bogey team at home, at their ground, by the way. And they played us a couple of times, and they played really well, and we've won. I think it's like in the last 3 games at their ground, I think we've won. Might be 2. Yeah, it's an interesting one. I love the fact that Aston Villa are in the mix, and they're taking points off the big boys. It's great. You know, beating Aston Villa is just not for everyone.
This is what Villa owe us. That's a good point.
They do.
Villa bottled it against City on the last day of the season, especially Ollie Watkins when he was 1-on-1 with Ederson and only had to put down the side of him to score that winning goal, and we would have been Premier League champions. A big up outdoors. Villa owe us. So Villa can lay down.
3-1 up, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So Villa need to lay down for us.
Coutinho tried for us.
Yeah, he did. He tried his best. So
he tried his best.
Only Stevie. You see, Stevie, he knew what he was doing. Stevie knew. He's like, let's do this tonight, boys.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, let's not get too carried away, obviously, because it's silly. But I do think there's something magical that could happen this season for Liverpool. I think there is something in the air where I think Liverpool could maybe win something and shock everyone. We'll shock the world. Can you imagine Liverpool win the Premier League without a DM?
I know. I personally think this will be Klopp's biggest ever challenge as well, and win if he does. If he wins the Premier League with this team, I think this is Klopp's biggest achievements, because this is a brand new team.
Yeah,
brand new team. Like, so much of this team is new. Like, I just think it'd be fantastic. Come on, the Reds.
Does anyone think Luton are going to give City a game tomorrow, by the way?
Yeah, I think they will.
Because Luton are at home, ain't they? And
I think they will.
And there's no Haaland tomorrow, is there? If I remember rightly.
Is he banned?
I don't know. Someone said Haaland's not available tomorrow. I don't know.
They got Rodri back though, haven't they?
Yeah. I just yeah.
I don't know.
Without a DM and the Europa League team. yeah. I saw someone tweet that today. I think it was James Redmond, big up James Redmond, saying that you lot should be ashamed of yourselves letting the Europa League team be top of the Premier League. Albert says he has to get a DM. Absolutely has to. It'll mess us up if we don't. I don't know, Albert. I think we've got a new way of playing, my friend, where we might not need that out and out DM. But who knows? Who knows? I've heard everyone keeps in the chat today saying there's rumours that Liverpool are talking to Pellegrini as agent. I don't know. If anyone knows where that article is, DM me on Twitter if you follow me on there, and I'll check it out. But guys, big up. Thank you very much for joining myself and K-Mac tonight. Appreciate it. Jurgen Klopp substitutions were beautiful today. They won us the game. Squad game is what it's about. We're top of the Premier League. Christmas is coming. It's a beautiful time. Everyone be happy. No negativity. Big up to everybody. Till next time, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye-bye for now.